January 2025. It's 9 a.m. We're in the Aquarium Education Center located at 706 Navigation Circle, Rockport, Texas, 78382. And I call this regular meeting to order. Please stand and join me in the invocation.
Please join me as I pray. Father God, we are always thankful for the blessing of a new day and for the privilege of living in this great community. And Father, we stand at the gate of a new year, and we've learned as the years roll onward and we leave the past behind, and much we had counted sorrow only proved that you were kind, and that many flower we longed for had a hidden thorn of pain, but many a troubled bypath led to fields of ripened grain. And sometimes we have to stand in the deepest shadow to see the clearest light. And often through Rome's own darkness comes the welcome strength of right. And Father, as we stand at the gate of a new year, there's a lot of darkness ahead. And we wonder, how are we going to navigate through it? And the answer to that is we need to place our hand in yours and venture boldly into the unknown, because that's better than light and surer than a known way. And we just pray for these commissioners that they will boldly go into this new year with their hand in yours and their heart on the community. For it's in your name we pray.
Amen. Join me at the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Thank you. All right, roll call.
Commissioner Kane.
Here.
Commissioner Castleman.
Here.
Commissioner Russo. Here. Commissioner Duke.
Here.
Judge Garza.
Here, we've got a full court. Before we move on, I'm gonna do some housekeeping. Item number 17. Approve, disapprove, DLF 2's change order number 11. I'm gonna strike that. We're gonna hear that tomorrow. We have a special meeting. And then item number down. Item number 9. Correcting Jeff Hutt appointment. I'm gonna strike that. And we will bring it up at a later meeting. I took applications the last couple of weeks, so we'll be replacing that appointment to complete that 2-year term. All right, we're gonna move on to citizens to be heard. And I forgot to mention, is this the first meeting of 2025? So, all right, happy first meeting. All right, citizens to be heard. I think we got a couple more, Madam Clerk, in front of you. I think there's a couple.
No, this you already have them all.
I already got those? Okay.
That's a duplicate.
First up, Mr. Wright, Jack Wright. Yeah, we're just talking about that a little, I guess, right?
Thank you. I was afraid when you struck number 9, I wouldn't really have much to say. But I do. My name is Jack Wright. I live at 418 Cherry Hill. And this is my 29th year to do so. I love this community. This morning's agenda, until it was changed. Pardon me?
Do not hear you.
This morning's agenda contains an item that is curious in its language and intent. To be polite, I will call it creative wordsmithing for now. Can you hear me now? This item seeks to reappoint Jeff Hutt to the remainder of a 2-year term using language from the Texas Tax Code, Section 6.03B. You have a handout. If you will turn to the back page of the handout, you'll see some highlighted information. In parentheses, members of the Board of Directors, other than a county tax assessor collector serving as a non-voting director, are required to serve 2-year terms beginning on January 1st of even numbered years. It has come to my attention, which I assume to be Judge Garza, attention that the entities have not been adhering to this statutory requirement. Well, there's only 2 entities that place people on the appraisal district. The problem is, Judge, section 6.03 does not say what you allege here. There is no such requirement. Pardon me. There is no such requirement. The words "are required to" were added nefariously to mislead the public here, and for that matter, the commissioners seated herein. In what universe is it acceptable to change the wording in the law to further your personal agenda? In what universe is it acceptable to change the wording in written law for any reason? The county attorney should look into this source of unethical and illegal wordsmithing. I'm only going to cover two minor points of the remainder of Mr. Hutt's claim that he doesn't violate the Open Meetings Act. In the September meeting, September 23rd, I believe, it took them that long to bring to a vote the 6 previous meeting minutes dating back to June 13th. Well, that's being on top of it, isn't it? Most important one, I think, is, I believe it was the September 11th meeting. There was a gentleman in the audience named Thomas Rhodes, and I have no idea if I pronounced that correctly. He said he was an attorney. Presumably, he was there to pitch his services to the board, and specifically Chairman Hutt, who wanted his own attorney, so he didn't have to deal with the one that the board had. The audience was dismissed. Mr. Gwode was allowed to come into executive session, which, by the way, is a blatant Open Meetings Act violation. In order to have a meeting with the board's attorney, it must be the attorney of record. You don't get to go into executive session to listen to a sales pitch. Well, they came out of open meeting. They didn't take any action, but 2 months later, they executed an agreement with Mr. Gwode and or his law firm so that Jeff Hutt could have his own personal attorney. Where have we heard that happen before? And it began billing immediately. I don't know what else to say, except why don't we bid Mr. Hutt a fond farewell? Thank you, George.
Thank you, Mr. Wright. Christy Rutledge.
If you struck item number 9, her comments were related to item number 9. Shall I still go ahead and read it?
That'd be fine.
Right? Christy Rutledge, 1411 Dana Drive. Commissioners, a few weeks ago, Jack Wright spoke to you about Jeff Hutt's outrageous behaviors towards appraisal district employees. And he told you that the appraiser had been subjected to months of attacks from Jeff Hutt, who had targeted Mike Soto to get him fired from his job. Jack Wright pleaded with commissioners not to assign Jeff Hutt to any county board or committee. I am strongly opposed to Jeff Hutt's reappointment to appraisal district because I do not believe he has the moral character, personal integrity, or professionalism to serve in any capacity on any committee. A few weeks after Jack Wright's comments, Jeff Hutt spoke to commissioners to defend himself and to advocate for his reappointment. He blamed Jack Wright's comments on Garza's derangement syndrome. Jeff Hutt lied to commissioners when he said he did not target Mike Soto to get him fired. The day of the first meeting at the aquarium, I received a phone call from Andrew King event, even though we hadn't spoken for months. This is what he said. I know you don't like Jeff Hutt, but you need to come to the meeting at the aquarium and speak because Jeff Hutt is on the board and we're trying to get him fired. Of course, I didn't go to that meeting and I refused to be involved with Jeff Hutt's witch hunt. Mike Soto is not the only person Jeff Hutt has targeted. In fact, targeting people is common and Jeff is very comfortable in doing so. I've heard him threaten to attack the former police chief, Greg Stevens, and I'm sure there are others who have been in his crosshairs. On February 26, 2024, Jeff Hutt decided to target my employer. Jeff Hutt called the CEO of my former employer 5 times in 2 days. When his calls weren't answered, he immediately would call back like a stalker and left 3 voicemails. What he threatened to do would have destroyed the company I worked for and would have gotten their contract canceled with a large public agency. If he carried through on his threats, it would have ended my career and the jobs of the 5 people who work for me. Protect county employees. Do not appoint Jeff Hutt to any committee or board.
All right. Deborah Stevens.
Deborah Stevens at 2005 Baywood Drive in Lockport, Texas, and she put out a public participation form. She made a comment. She asked me to read her comments, and this is pertaining to agenda 9. Which has been struck. She is against us approving that motion. And here's her statement. I attended the Commissioners' Court meeting on December 18th, 2024, where Mr. Hutt defended himself against accusations made at a prior meeting by Jack Wright. Mr. Hutt addressed the court and stated, "You all voted for me. It was not a consent agenda." Commissioner Russo asked that it be pulled out after, and Ms. Stevens now responds, after reviewing the minutes and video of December 11th, 2023, this statement by Mr. Hutt seems accurate. Mr. Hutt was appointed via consent agenda as shown on the record of that meeting, and at no time during that meeting, Commissioner Russo asked for his appointment to be voted on outside of the consent agenda. Given that Mr. Hutt is inaccurate about how he was appointed to the county appraisal district, I find it difficult to believe the rest of his statements. In my research, one thing that stood out to me is that there is no record of Mr. Hutt's qualifications to be appointed to the county appraisal district, either in the packet from 2023 or today. I think the citizens need to know the qualifications of anyone appointed by this court. I ask that you vote against extending Mr. Hutt's appointment to the county appraisal district and include qualifications in the packet for interviews of candidates.
All right. Mr. Oker?
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. I'd like to start off by just saying I'm a bit saddened that this forum has devolved into a platform by which people attack each other.
Would you identify yourself and give your address?
Oh, yeah, my name is Matt Oker. I live at 208 Duck Haven. As y'all know, probably most of the audience doesn't, I am on the Central Appraisal District Board of Directors. I was appointed earlier this year. And I suppose I'm the next guy that's going to have a target on my back. It's no secret that there is change in this state regarding appraisal districts. Elected officials for too long have hidden behind appraisal districts and have used appraisal districts to increase, sometimes artificially, values so that they can then nominally lower a tax rate while still raising taxes. And then everybody goes out and campaigns, says, we didn't raise your taxes. The boogeymen are over there at the appraisal district. And I can speak for the members of the board that I have served with thus far. None of us are there to try to tweak a system to favor any one group of people. However, the system as it is now does favor certain groups of people. A lot of them are in here speaking against Mr. Hutt right now. What we want is a fair system. We want a system that follows the state law. And it's funny that Mr. Wright gets up here and talks about the language added. Well, it's a state statute. It goes without saying that you must adhere to it. You're not changing the spirit or the letter of the law by adding that language. Again, another one of Mr. Wright's many specious accusations against many people. I could stand up here and engage in the same defamation, but as the old saying goes, discretion is often the better part of valor. But it's dismaying to me that so many people are saying that they know exactly what Jeff Hutt has done. I sat in this very room in that executive session where the agenda item was somewhat vague, but it was related to Mr. Soto's employment. And I can assure you that what has been said thus far is inaccurate. I was there. Only one other person in this room was there with me, and she can speak to her own observations, but that was not my observation. And I think y'all are going down a dangerous path. According to the law, you're supposed to have separation. We're supposed to be an independent body. We are appointed, and by the way we're appointed is not legal. Mr. Wright's it's crazy how he reads certain statutes but doesn't read others. The entire way that everybody's been appointed is completely unlawful. It's completely outside the tax code. And it's not just the school district and the county that puts people on the appraisal district. It's every taxing entity within the confines of Aransas County. So he's completely wrong on that. And Mr. Wright is often wrong, but very, very seldom in doubt. I will say that. He makes a lot of claims that are just not true. He claims that we are bound by state statute to record and publish our meetings. Read the statute, read the government code. We are not. You are not. You are not a county of more than 75,000 people. The school district here is not. There's not a single entity in this county that is bound by state statute to record and publish their meetings. Now, granted, we love it that most of them do. It's a good way for people to have participation from their homes, but he makes all these statements that just aren't true. And I think back to what I was saying a minute ago, there's supposed to be a separation, and I think y'all are eroding that. I think y'all are making it where we're not independent, and quite frankly, I think you're doing so at your own political peril. Because I think if you remove Mr. Hutt, and then probably y'all come remove me next, just because we're taxpayer advocates, y'all are gonna have a hard time hiding behind, oh, well, that's an independent deal, that's separate from us. Because then y'all are gonna own 100% of all the tax increases, which you really do by statute anyway, okay? When you raise taxes, you know you're raising taxes, but y'all love to hide behind this fact that, oh, well, we're separate from the appraisal district. The only reason your taxes went up is because your appraisal went up. That's hogwash. I don't know if y'all know this, but by operation of law, once you certify the tax rolls, the actual no new revenue rate becomes the tax rate. If you take no action, your tax levy will be based on the tax rate that is the no new revenue rate. So when you raise the rate from that, even though nominally from one year to the next you've reduced it, you've still raised taxes. The truth in taxation page that used to be attached to all your budgets used to make you sign an affidavit saying you knew that. I don't know. I guess that got wiped out at some point by the legislature because once again, taxpayer funded lobbying goes up there to Austin, spends our money against us. But you know y'all are raising taxes. And we're all adults in this room. Let's just be completely honest. The only reason Jeff Hutt's being attacked is because he's a taxpayer advocate. So like I said, I guess I'm next, and I've enjoyed serving on the board. I enjoy serving my community, and thank you, but I guess my time's limited.
Thank you, Mr. Oker. Yes. Yes, actually, is Jeff here still?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Chief Senator. My name is Colleen Quattlebaum, and I reside at 705 Monkey Road. I'm appointed by the school district to serve on the appraisal district's board of directors. I'm the current secretary of the board, which I was appointed to be secretary in August. Prior to my appointment, Assessor Collector Anna Marshall was the secretary, and that had been a longstanding ruling or requirement through the state law. However, that changed several years ago. Prior to that, requiring the tax assessor collector to be the secretary kind of put an encumbrance upon her to keep the minutes of the meeting. So somewhere, some board member had suggested, well, we'll have a staff member from the appraisal district take the minutes of the meeting. So when there's been a reference here that minutes of the meeting were not submitted for board approval 3 or 4 meetings back, that is because that staff member didn't give them to us. During this time, Mr. Hutt went out, researched the law, found out that that law had changed, and then in fact, the board has the right to appoint their own secretary, at which time he nominated me. I told Mr. Hutt, I'm not sure I'm more qualified than the staff member. I'm more than happy to serve in that capacity, but I don't know that I'm qualified. I do not know Robert's Rules of Order very well. And so Mr. Hutt went out and found me a 16-hour workshop free of charge from the SREC parliamentarian for District 27. And he provided me 8 hours Zoom meeting and 8 hours in person. Mind you, he was also parliamentarian for the state Republican convention this year. His name is Travis Vest, and he was more than happy to provide me 16 hours direct workshop experience free of charge, which I attended, and then I accepted that position. Since I've accepted the position of secretary, the meetings are in order and they have all been approved in a timely manner. Additionally, in reference to the attorney situation, our current attorney has informed us he is not an attorney for administrative issues. He is a property tax attorney only.
And so when we have questions, the board has had numerous questions, mind you. This is the most qualified board we've ever had. We have a licensed attorney on the board. Mr. Ofer is a JD. He's not licensed, but he is a doctor of jurisprudence. We have the vice president of the school board. Myself, I have a bachelor's degree in accounting and a master's in public administration with my theses in administrative law and ethics. I have asked, along with the two JDs, repeatedly of Mr. Hutt, we are not being given accurate documents. You have things on the agenda, not you necessarily, but the appraisal district has items on the agenda that I have not seen documentation of proof that I even have authority to approve these things. We are demanding, we have been demanding of an employee manual. We were not given an employee manual until December 23rd. We have now found out that the district, quite frankly, has been operating outside of their employee manual on numerous issues. So therefore, when we have gone to our attorney, which informed us, I can't give you any advice on administrative issues, I'm a property tax attorney only, our hands are tied. I'm not about to vote for something for or against a budgetary item that I don't even have a copy of the employee manual. So the issues in question revolved around employees' benefits, okay, non-taxable benefits, that the state law, now that we have a copy of the employee manual, specifically prohibits. But here we have gone and approved a budget. So yes, we need a return. By the way, we also on numerous occasions were publicly threatened that we as individuals would be sued by people in this room right now. So yes, I needed an attorney. And every other member on that board agreed, we needed representation to serve you, not for my personal, necessarily my personal defense, but I need to know if I'm even authorized to do these things that have been presented before us. And mind you, Chief Appraiser Soto retired. He retired. We have other retirements coming. So another thing I would like to point out, Chairman Hutt has gone on his own expense to Beeville, he's gone to Galveston County, he's gone to Refugio County, he's gone to Nueces County. He has taken his time and effort to speak to chief appraisers there, as well as county tax assessor collectors, to make sure he understands his position and his duties. My time. But I suggest we go ahead and we reappoint Chairman Hutt, and I believe that he will be reappointed as chairman based on the conversations I've had with other board members. Thank you, Ms. Pauline.
Thank you, Ms. Pauline. Leslie Austin.
Good morning.
Morning.
Happy New Year. My name is Leslie Austin. I reside at 513 Lakewood. However, I'm here representing our school district. I'm the superintendent of Rockport Fulton High School. This is our chief story. She's in charge of our police force and safety, and we're here to talk about safety, to thank every single one of you. About a month and a half ago, I know that it was brought to you guys possibly to reallocate funds to help us purchase school zone flashing signs. I've worked with multiple districts. This was the first district. I have not seen school zone flashing signs. When I brought it to some of our members of our Education Foundation, and Sheriff Mills heard as well, he brought it to you guys, brought it forth, and you voted to help support us buy those lights. They have been ordered. They are on their way. I'm sure we'll be getting them any day. And I just wanted to express how much I am grateful that you put safety of our students and our community first and foremost. Chief Story and I just wanted to express our gratitude on behalf of our students, our staff, our community, and our school board. I do have thank you cards, if it's okay if I can get them.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. It was great. Right, and making sure I've got it. Thank you so much. Thank you. I also just want to say a special thank you to Sheriff Mills back there, who, when I was so concerned and just brought it to him, he was trying to think of different ways. And so Sheriff Mills, I have a thank you card. That's all I'd like to say. And thank you again for our students' safety being number one.
Thank you so much, Dr. Austin.
Welcome to our community.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, before we end, since we heard, I do want to read some emails I got in support of item number 9. I'm not going to read the emails, but I'll read the letters of support. I'll read their names. Matthew Wallace, John Setterbo, Patrick Kane, Mark Waters, Kathy Kane, Mike Sosha, Jonette Childs, Dominic Dominguez, Laura Dominguez, Skip Carrier, Ron Rorex, Carl Brown, Martin DeLeon, Brody Riley, Dahlia Dominguez, Jack Vogel, Christine Ritter, Jacob Morgan, Michael Mangeris, Ruben Garcia, not our VSO, but another Ruben, Alexander Picus, Bev McFadden Toops, Jason Followell, Jennifer Shaw, Carmen Calderon, Pam Meyer, Tommy Moore, Lynn Kiley, Cheryl Matlock, Oliver Robertson, Elise Chacon, Andrew Nunez, and it just says Agent Varnell, so I don't know what the first name is or if he's an agent but Agent Varnell. And Wendy Laubach had mentioned to me as well. You want to see those? They'll be with the clerks. All right, that concludes our citizens to be heard. We will go on with our regular scheduled program. Item number 1, we've got a Smithsonian Museum presentation. Smithsonian Museum on Main Street Crossroads exhibit presentation this day.
Great, thank you. I also have the Chamber of Commerce represented, the
Great.
Historical Commission, and the Aransas County Historical Society and Refugio Historical Groups.
Oh, great,
So
welcome.
this is a collaboration and you'll see that. This presentation is a little bit lengthy. We're going to jump through parts of it, but bottom line is I've stood before you for over a year with 3 small slides of what's been going on for the past year and a half. And there has been a tremendous amount going on. We're hitting our opening here, scheduled for the 25th of this month. So a very, very short time from now. And I just want individuals and especially commissioners to know the breadth of this exhibit and the impact that it will have on this community as well as on the coastal bend. So my name is Jennifer Day. I live at 902 East Cornwall. Sorry, I'm just getting to that. So we're going to flip through these fairly quickly. This is the state of Texas, the Texas Historical Commission time travel website. You'll see that this is in Brenham right now. It will be coming to Rockport, as I mentioned, very, very quickly. And I'm just going to scroll through these. This is Brenham's history. You'll have the same type of information for Rockport. Plan your trip, exhibit location, fee and hours, etc. All of the information that Brenham has is reflected here. And we will also have the same thing here in Rockport. We show our sponsors. And of course, Aransas County will be shown as one of those sponsors as well. So here we are with the Rockport group. This is the core group. There are a lot of others involved, which you'll see here shortly. This is some information. So the Cultural District spearheaded the funding from the city of Rockport. We were able to secure funds to support this. We will be open every day of the week for 6 weeks. And the reason for that is to make sure that no one is disappointed, that the doors are closed when they come. We want people constantly moving in this community and on the coastal bend to maximize the economic impact. This was setting up in the very first city was San Augustine. It was August the 20th. We were required, all of us were required to be there to set up the exhibit. This is my husband, Rusty, which he will be doing the same thing here very, very soon again. This is important to see all of the partners So you see the host organizations, but you see all of the partners along the Gulf Coast. Again, tremendous opportunity for this community in the coastal bend. So the exhibit is targeted in the new community center. There's a little bit of crunch at the very end, which is what this slide shows. This says the same thing, basically, a little bit neater. This is not even all of the exhibit cases that will be coming in. There's more than this, but this is all I could get into that picture. So, grand opening Saturday, the 25th, 10 a.m. The Crossroads exhibit opening. This is also the ribbon cutting for the new community center. So it will be a double whammy there. And we will have speakers here. We'll have Todd Hunter. We'll have Michael Cloud or a representative if he's not able to make it. We will have judge. We will have mayors. We will have the dignitaries. And then we will, for a trifecta, since it is very close to the Vietnamese New Year and that culture is so important to our community, we will have representatives from Texas A&M, Dr. No. We'll have Ram Chavez with the Veterans Band out of Corpus Christi. We will have a dragon dance team, which will be very lively out of Austin here. And we will also have Vietnamese food. So we have requested the city of Rockport to close a street between the new parking lot for the community center and the community center building. These are the different programs that are targeted. There's quite a few programs. There's quite a few at the community center, but also at other locations. You'll see that as well. And all of these have to do with the history and the culture of Rockport in this area. This is what we're showing off as our culture, and we want people to enjoy that. We have a great presentation from Palacios. I'm not sure if you're aware, the Luther Hotel has been championed to restore by J.P. Bryan, and we have them coming here. We'll also have a Palacios Day. So it's not just here, it's also at our local venues, and it's outside in other cities and their venues. So I'm not sure what happened to the top of that screen. That looks like hieroglyphics. But this is the inside plan for the building. There's going to be a few little minor changes, but basically that's the high level look. Again, hieroglyphics. This is a parking lot. We do plan on having a bus that will pick up and drop off every Saturday except the first Saturday, taking 30 people to Taft Blackland Museum. That's sponsored by Gulf Coast Growth Ventures, which was fantastic. We also have our little passenger train coming from our Railroad Museum, picking up people and taking people there. And we're planning on the Vietnamese food concession there on that south side of the parking lot. There's different programs. The History Center is also a partner. Pam couldn't be here today, but the History Center is having programs there. Again, hieroglyphics, I'm not real sure what's going on here. The Fulton Mansion has a lot of great programs. Doreen has put together a footprints, a self-guided walking tour through our Cultural Arts District, which is the downtown district. People learn about the history. There's over 20 historical state markers within that 44 block Cultural Arts District and 2 nationally registered historic properties. People can go and learn and leisurely walk about and learn about the history of our area. Texas Maritime Museum has their lecture series going on at the time. We'll be featuring that as well. There's also programs at Fulton Schoolhouse Museum, and Goose Island State Park is also participating in providing, is it a chuck wagon? Chuck wagon opportunity for people to kind of experience that part of our culture and that part of our history. These are the free bus tours and train rides. This is a webpage that was put on the chamber website specifically for the Smithsonian. Talks about the remaining cities after Rockport. This is some of the social media marketing. The other thing, plan your visit. What's really important here is we're gonna have some scenarios of go get a sandwich at picnic, enjoy the museum, have a suggested move around for people that don't know this area. So we'll have maps, both digitally and printout maps. We have these big Smithsonian flags that will fly at every participating venue. Again, a visual to help people move around. There's a flag. You may have seen the over the street banner in front of Walmart that we had put up. This is a countdown on social media. We'll have trivia and we'll have teasers for people for them to kind of scavenger hunt and learn. We will leave pictures at the Aransas County Community Center as a thank you for allowing us to use that facility. And these are examples of that. We have added to the Passport to the Pass program where you can go to each of these venues. We've added Taft Blackland Museum. You visit all four and you get a prize. So there's additional incentives. And then also as a part of this through the Texas Historical Commission is the Datafy report, which is the footprint is the Cultural Arts District. And it will capture zip codes and that type of information. So how can you help is what that hieroglyphic says. Sign up to volunteer. So that's what that thumbs up is right there. So I do have Bart. Bart has a Model T that we want to put inside the community center. It has been sitting in a museum in Refugio. And he is here to talk about any concerns that you may have about that being on your new carpet there in that building. So if you have questions, he's here for that. He also has some artifacts from one of the first Spanish missions that he's going to be sharing. He's got quite deep roots and quite a collection. So I would offer that if you would speak.
My name is Bart Wales. I'm a longtime resident. My family's been in Refugio for almost from the beginning. Anyways, we have lots of history there. Rockport used to be part of Refugio County many years ago. So this is part of us. So as far as the Model T, we plan to bring some pads and some things to put under it in case there are any, because moving it, we may dislodge something or something, and there might be a chance that there could be some oil or something. But we're making plans to protect the surfaces so that there will not be any problems from damage from anything on the car. It's just back in the 20s, Refugio was a very wealthy county. In 1900, the population of the town of Refugio was about 800 people. There were about 800, there were 8 millionaires in the county at that time, all from cattle industry. In the 20s, when automobiles were coming out, some of those wealthy landowners actually used cars to help herd cattle. And I think that's just an amazing story. And having the Model T there will help give that impression. So they'll see what they were running around the pastures in to herd cattle. And it was actually the Driscoll and the Rook family, which started out here, that were doing that there in Refugio County on their large ranches. So
It sounds fun.
I do want to point out that Commissioner Russo was the person who sent the application to different historical groups. Almost 2 years ago, we've been working on this. We got the award a year and a half ago, and we've been working very hard on it. So I just want to relay the depth of it to you, so you can capture that and capture our deep desire to communicate our history, which is so important. And to also really make sure we maximize the opportunity of this economic impact. So anyone else want to say anything?
Well, I was just gonna say, the name of this exhibit is Crossroads Change in Rural America, which covers post-Depression era. But all the panels, I mean, they're absolutely gorgeous, but they depict a little bit more what was happening in the Midwest than our area. And that was part of what drove us to try to include informational and educational things about what was happening in Aransas County during that same time period. And I think we were one of 7 cities in Texas. I think they had about 58 applications, so it's definitely an honor to be able to host the Smithsonian, and it's all free, which I know, a lot of people like to find good things to do that don't cost money, so we're excited.
Okay.
You've done tremendous work. I salute you all.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your support.
Thank you all so much. Thank you for being here. I have a motion to accept the consent agenda.
Move to approve this consent agenda.
Got a motion and a second.
Commissioner Cheney.
Aye.
Commissioner Casserly.
Aye.
Commissioner Russo.
Aye.
Commissioner Dudnick. Judge Garza.
Hi. Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you for reminding me. Caitlin, you want to read off the donations, please?
Director Caitlin Frazier of Aransas County Animal Care Services, and we have anonymous donation of animal supplies estimated total of about $196. Kenneth Raymond in the donation amount of $50, and John Sullivan in the donation amount of $750.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. All right, we had voted unanimous. Item number 6.
I move to approve reappointments to the Aransas Pathway Steering Committee of Richard Cano and Alyssa Massengill for a 3-year term per resolution R-2023A. And I'll just stop there.
I'll second that.
Thanks.
Got a motion and a second.
I would also point out there was an end of the year report that Chairman Cano attached, but it was not in this agenda item. So I would encourage the commissioners to review that update that's on the back of the agenda item, because this committee has really been doing tremendous work for this last 9 or 10 months.
Yep. Thank y'all too. Y'all done really good jobs.
Commissioner Cheney.
Aye.
Commissioner Casserly.
Aye.
Commissioner Russo.
Aye.
Commissioner Dudnick.
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye. Passes 5-0. Item number 7.
I move to approve the reappointment to the Aransas County Tree Committee of Shelley Steckler and the appointment of Robert Ruff, who replaces Ed Hagan, who resigned, for 2-year terms.
Got a motion and a second. All right.
Commissioner Cheney.
Aye.
Commissioner Casserly.
Aye.
Commissioner Russo.
Aye.
Commissioner Dudnick.
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye. Passes 5-0. Item number 8.
We could approve allowing Axe Aviation to host a flying event at the airport on November 14th through the 16th, 2025. And to allow the airport manager to post the airport or sections of it as needed during the event.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Good morning, Mr. Beard.
Good morning, and Axe Aviation has made a request to use the airport as the venue for the fly-in. Generally try to do it around Veterans Day in November, so the weekend of the 14th, 15th, and 16th is what they're requesting. They've got a wonderful track record of safety. That's my number one concern. And, but I'd like to be able to have the flexibility to close certain taxiways and ramps during the event. So that's what we're asking for.
Any questions?
No, we both were at the airport advisory meeting. It sounds exciting.
Yeah, fully support that.
Cody, thank you.
Mike. Cool, thank you.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Castleline.
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dukenyak.
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye. Unanimous, 5-0. Item number 10.
Move to approve resolution R-01-2025 designated county judge Ray Garza as authorized official for Ramsey County existing FY 2024 Homeland Security Operation Stone Garden Grant Crawford Program, grant number 3171810, effective March 1st, 2025.
I'll second that.
Got a motion and a second. Got any questions? Resolution number 1, cool.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Castleline.
Aye.
Commissioner Russo.
Aye.
Commissioner Dukenyak.
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, unanimous. Item number 11.
I move to approve resolution R-02-2025 designating authorized signatories for contractual documents and documents for requesting funds pertaining to the CDBG MIP grant for local hazard mitigation planning program.
Second. And Jackie, just on here where it says designating the authorized signatories. So in looking through these, it looks like for the contracts, it's Judge Garza and Judge Pro Tem Castro. And then for the financial, those two plus you and the treasurer. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Commissioner Cheney.
Aye.
Commissioner Castleline.
Aye.
Commissioner Russo.
Aye.
Commissioner Dukenyak.
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, unanimous, 5-0. Although, Tracy, there's no resolution in here. You have it?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't have a resolution. Oh, I'm sorry. Do I just sign it or does the whole court sign a resolution? Resolution 2,
This one just had your.
Just you.
just mine?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. All right, item number 11, or I'm sorry, item number 12.
I move to approve order, 0-01, excuse me, that's an O-01-2025, an order of Ramsey County prohibiting capital burning for a period of not to exceed 60 days. Up to 60 days, up to 60 days.
I'll second that.
Got a motion and a second.
I just had a quick question. And I know it says on the order for a period of up to 60 days, but then in that first paragraph under the witnesses, it says for up to 30 days. Does that matter?
It was corrected. On my, it says up to 90 days.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
Judge,
Yes, for 90 days. Oh, I'm sorry, for 60 days, but the order says we could restrict it up to 90 days, but we're doing 60.
What is this resolution based on? Is it the criteria from the fire department, local fire departments and the state?
Yes, yes, and yes. It's the index, the drought index.
It's the KVDI, so it's the Edom Beach Bird Trender Drought Index, and we're anything over the 500s is considered elevated. We're at 600 pretty routinely right now.
Right.
The reason I asked that question just for the public, so they will know that it's not based on some arbitrary.
Oh, no, it's based on a number.
And that's set forth by, who tells us to do that, use that
That's
as.
the Texas Fire Service.
Okay, that's what I'm.
Yes.
And I know we've had some rain, but like as soon as it rains at my yard, it's like dry within a couple hours. All right, any other questions?
Commissioner Cheney.
Aye.
Commissioner Castleline.
Aye.
Commissioner Russo.
Aye.
Commissioner Dukenyak.
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye. Passes 5-0. Sorry, Matt. I'm sorry. We're gonna take about a 5-minute break right now. Thanks. All right, it is, oh, look at that. 9:58, we're back in open session. Okay, before we move on to contracts and grants, I'm sorry, I gotta move a couple items out. We're gonna hit number 19 and then number 20 and then move on to number 13. So I have a motion for number 19.
I move to approve the listing of available organizations and or programs to present to attending jurors for possible juror donations as allowed by Government Code Chapter 61.003, which includes additions of the well Rockport, allowing any said donations to supplement that program's normal budget. This organization qualifies per Texas Government Code Chapter 61 3-3.
Second.
You got a motion and a second. Good morning.
I was contacted by the well to try to understand the services that they are bringing to the community. I will let her speak to the specifics of that. But as far as putting an entity on the list for jurors to make donations to, that is a choice of the commissioners. It is not county's money. It just authorizes us to put them on a list, and then the jurors can make their choice of who they want to donate to. So this doesn't involve any county money whatsoever. Do y'all have any questions as far as what I'm attempting to do is to give them an equal opportunity to raise this a little bit of money as well as the rest of the entities?
What does the well do?
And I would like to introduce her to Spring Prairie, so she'll tell you what their aspirations are for the community.
Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Spring Richardson Perry. I'm the treasurer of the board for the Well Rockport. And so we are a new organization. We're working towards building some transitional housing for women who are victims of domestic violence and or sexual assault. Our main goal right now is to get funding for the shelter itself. We like to call it transitional housing because when you think of shelters, there's so many things that go behind that. Whereas transitional housing, we like to think of it as a step towards rediscovering their independence, helping women to become self-sufficient after coming out of these traumatizing relationships. And so right now we have a few community outreach programs. We have book club every Tuesday. We do mindfulness yoga with Sandy Soul Yoga. We've had some self-defense classes that we've done with our jiu-jitsu partners. So we have a lot of things that we're getting off the ground. We recently received a $25,000 grant from the Methodist Ministries. We've been supported also by some of the churches, the local churches in the area as well. We've helped in 2024, 30 women to either find resources in terms of needing emergency shelter through our partnerships. Well, I don't want to say partnerships because they're not official partnerships, but we've met with the Purple Door. They support us. So we work with them when we have someone who needs emergency shelter. Right now, we'll refer them to the Purple Door. We've also worked with Mid-Coast Crisis Center in Victoria, where we can refer some people there, as well as Perpetual Help Home. So we are happy to be here to have this service for the community. It's unfortunate that this is a need here, but clearly we incorporated in February of 2023. And like I said, we helped about 30 women in 2024 as a brand new organization. So we're just kind of looking to right now establish a space for emergency shelter so that we can get the transitional housing program off the ground and then continue to build it from there. So, thank you.
Well, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Any questions, commissioners?
I'd like to make a statement.
Yes, ma'am.
For someone who worked in the criminal area for 8 years in this county, This is a much, 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 much needed program. Women who are abused and sometimes men as well need help finding where to go. A lot of them have zero transportation to get to Corpus to the Purple Door. It's a major issue, and I'm so thankful that y'all are here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, and that's been our discovery too, is that transportation to Corpus or to other places, and we've helped with that. We've helped with getting them transportation to get there. But another thing is, we find that our ladies, they want to leave the situation, but they don't want to leave the community. They still want to be in this community because they have kids here, they have family here, they have friends here. And so they want to find safety from the situation, but they still want to be a part of this community. So that's why we're coming tonight.
Well, I introduced myself to Spring before today's meeting, and hearing these ideas, I think they're very good. I used to live in Corpus Christi and was familiar with the women's shelter, and it became the Purple Door later, but our church had a big ministry to support them. But I also hope you're aware of Real Transit, which has just upgraded its system. So they do flash service now, where people can call the same day and usually get a ride within an hour's time. I know Alma works very closely with them and we support them. So that's a resource for them. And as I mentioned, I know some courses that you mentioned in here that you want to start up for the clients or patrons that you have. And I have some information that I'll be glad to share with you that is out of the Beeville area, but they come through the Coastal Bend with their training programs. I think they could benefit some of those clients.
Thank you. That's fantastic. We're certainly open. So
Thank you.
thanks, guys.
Well, we're gonna get kind of established, once you get on the agenda sometime, this is the community interest and kind of bring us up to date with where it is. I'm gonna see more of that from other community organizations in, but I'd invite you to come back and of course work around to get what you.
Yeah, she has agreed to come and give updates of their progress.
Good.
Give you more exposure. It'd be great.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Castelline.
Aye.
Commissioner Russo. Commissioner Dupnick. Judge Garza.
Aye, passes 5-0. Item number 20.
Move to appoint Daryl Siebert as the Aransas County engineer.
Got a motion and a second.
Move to approve.
Move to approve. Any questions for Daryl?
About yourself, Daryl.
Thank you for the thought.
Goals for this year.
My goals for this year are to, we're working on quite a few projects already. In fact, we are working on an RFQ for a general pool of engineers, and we'll list specifically each type of engineer so that we can save some time on the procurement process when we do have grant opportunities and, avoid those delays. That's one big item that I've seen in the past from my previous history. But I do appreciate your support of me and your confidence in me. Just briefly, I grew up in Houston. I went to the University of Texas in Austin, long time ago.
Someone holds that against you.
I was gonna say, Aggie fans here, but you're.
And just like everyone else, when they came, would come here every year for vacation and fell in love with Rockport and always dreamed of having an opportunity to work here. And we have a great staff, and great support here, and looking forward to many years ahead.
I'd like to say that I've had some comments from members of my precinct that have worked with you on several things, and they've all had very positive feedback about your willingness to listen to them and try to work with them to meet their needs.
And I've gone on a couple of ride-alongs with you, and what you didn't know, you are quickly learning. So
Yes, ma'am.
hats off to you.
Commissioner, I'm sorry.
And I've worked with you a couple of weeks and you're top notch, keep me informed on everything. And it's a pleasure working alongside you.
Commissioner Cheney.
Aye.
Commissioner Castelline.
Aye.
Commissioner Russo.
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick. Judge Garza.
Aye, passes 5-0. Congratulations, Aransas County Engineer, Seibert. Siebert or Seibert?
It's Seibert.
Seibert, okay.
And you're on the phone dial now. That's a good thing.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we'll whip around to item number 13.
Move to approve authorizing solicitation for bids for road materials for the county of Aransas and authorize county judge to sign all necessary documents.
Second.
Got a motion and a second.
And these are for the items that we didn't get bids for this time around.
Yes, ma'am, they are. Those are for culvert pipe, and we received our yearly materials bids on last December. And unfortunately, we did not receive any pipe quotes, and that's what we're going out for this time.
Perfect.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Castleline.
Aye.
Commissioner Russo.
Aye.
Commissioner Dukenyak.
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes 5-0. Item number 14.
I move to approve the change order number 5, the construction contract for Olive Beach Road, improvement project for the county general land office. Community Development Block Grant dash disaster relief contract number 20-065-098-C270. LCR Total Transport LLC requests a decrease in the contract amount by $117,949.45.
Second.
Got a motion and a second.
The change order 5 reconciles the final actual quantities on the project, so we're one step closer to a closeout. Obviously, we have some more steps to go through, but this brings the final contract price to, including all change orders, to $4,246,984.40.
Nice to see a decrease.
Any other questions?
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Castleline.
Aye.
Commissioner Russo.
Aye.
Commissioner Dukenyak.
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye. Thank you, County Engineer. Item number 15.
I move to approve FEMA Disaster Recovery Project number DR-4332-0069-BF. Hurricane Harvey Phase 2, Texas Division of Emergency Management Sub-Grant Award for a Hazard Mitigation Grant Program for the Aransas County Little Bay Drainage Improvements Phase 2, authorizing the county judge to sign and execute all necessary documents.
I'll second that.
Got a motion and a second. Morning, Al.
Good morning, Commissioners. Good morning, Judge. This is just the award letters, so the sub-award letter, so that we can go ahead and move forward with our questions. It does not obligate us to that we absolutely have to do it, but it does show that the percentages are at the 75-25, which is the most you're ever going to get. But we do have our little concerns with Mott McDonald, how they've stopped doing our engineering. So that is something that we would have to go out for, do an RFQ if we decide that we're going to move forward. One of the first things that we need to look at is the permits that are currently set and the timeline, because it does show it's going to end August 31 of 2025. So we would have to do an extension on that. So those are things that at least signing this gives us the opportunity to go back with Tatum and have those discussions and see what we can do to move forward.
And I had a question as I looked through this, and maybe they're in two different categories, but it was over the weekend, so I couldn't call anybody. So is our share $1,140,277, or is it $297,238, or are those for two separate parts?
It's the $1 million, 144.
Number 2, or the second.
Yeah. On the obligations,
Less possibly the engineer.
Right.
well, yeah.
Yeah, we would have to pay for engineering.
Engineering.
So where it shows on page 2, the management cost obligation.
So that's 100%.
They pay 100% of that.
So Jackie, what is the normal percentage of engines?
Depends usually sometimes on the cost of the project, anywhere from 10 to 15.
Yeah, I count somewhere between 10 and 15. So construction cost.
It just depends on the amount of construction cost. The higher the construction, the lower percentage they usually. No, okay.
And do we have that match?
No, ma'am, we do not have a match. My understanding is Are you looking at NAB district for the match, or have you been talking to
So
the?
during stormwater, we had a discussion, and really it would be a navigation district, and the city of Rockport would need to step up.
We don't have a match on it. This is one of them in the documents that I gave you or sent for on the 23rd, where it was, you know, not feasibly possible with the way things are. We would have to look at something if, you know, NAB district did want it. then we would have to.
And if this grant includes like erosion from Harvey through the Leggett Channel and the Levis Channel, both, I mean, is that?
Yes.
Plus maybe some other stuff. Okay, so.
Is it the stormwater meeting? Is this the one where Keith Garrett said that they may have money to put to this?
Right, and but he also had said that he had not seen the plans, and we were waiting for Mont McDonald to send us those 100% or whatever plans they have. We have not received them yet, so we'll follow up with that with Mont McDonald.
And this is the same project. He also questioned about the, some of the construction they were asking for that would
Correct.
maybe create potential other issues.
Right, right. So there's a lot of questions out there that we need to have answers to, but signing this gives us the opportunity to just speak with Tatum and keep the money, I guess, secured, encumbered, I guess I would say.
And then we may decide, do the project or we won't. Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
I'll have to find them. Yep.
Commissioner Cheney?
Aye.
Commissioner Castleline?
Aye.
Commissioner Russo?
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick?
Aye.
Judge Garza?
Aye, passes 5-0. Item number 16.
Move to approve DLF2 Inc.'s change order number 10 for the Aransas County Community Building / Plaza / Parking Lot, General Land Office Community Development Block Grant Disaster Recovery Contract number 20-065-098-C270, adding 2 days. Change order number 8 extended the contract time by 19 days to January 19th, 2025. This change order number 10 extends the contract time by 2 more days to January 21, 2025. Therefore, the community center building and interior parking lot substantial completion date will be January 21, 2025.
Second.
Got a motion and a second.
So again, this is just extending it those 2 days. On the 21st, we'll have a special meeting to, if needed, to do another extension for the plaza area. We were supposed to have concrete pouring this morning. I was out there. I did not see any concrete trucks or any concrete people. So once this meeting's over with, I'll go follow up. We did have last week because of the watering. So that became a big problem because as they're doing the concrete, then they're putting in landscaping because of the way the plaza is set up. It has that retaining wall that's 8 feet and there's stairs on each side. So they only can do it this way. Concrete, landscape, concrete, landscape, concrete, the retaining wall. And then there would be no way for them to get the trees up there or the grass. So we're still kind of working through this whole watering thing. We did find out that we have 2 wells here on county property. We have one with AgriLife and one I believe is Thule East or West. So those are the options that we have in order to do watering for these plants once we accept them, once we accept the building. And also the landscaper, you know, this is not a good time to plant grass or any of those items. So he has concerns about planting because he's financially responsible to keep that stuff alive. So at least we have an option now to water the parking lot, and we need to work through this community building.
What are the parking lots landscaping or what are the parking lots?
No, the landscaping. Yeah, the plants are already in. Yeah. So watering the parking lot landscaping.
It's probably worth the road. Is that what we're doing to get there?
To get the wash.
No, because we don't want to put, that was kind of a discussion, but then it was brought to the attention that we don't want to use that their water truck because it's well water. And so it's better for us to get a plastic tank that goes on the back of a pickup truck so that we don't corrode that very expensive machine.
Right.
So that is, again, something we need to kind of.
Well, water might corrode.
Yeah, it destroys everything. Well, it colors everything.
Do you drink it? Yeah, I was gonna say, do you drink it?
Drink it all the time.
I drink it very filtered, I'll tell you that. So.
All in your mind.
Oh, it smells. Mhm.
Thank you, Al.
Commissioner Cheney,
Thank you.
Commissioner Castleline.
Aye.
Commissioner Russo. Commissioner Dupnick.
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes 5-0. Item number 18.
I move to approve the Aransas County Indigent Healthcare Report for December 2024.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Morning, Madam Treasurer.
I don't have the report in front of me because I haven't been to my office this week. Any questions on any of the numbers? The normal expenditures?
Well, I know that we're way down because we're a third of the way through the year.
Yeah, already. it
Yeah.
seems.
So, I mean, the dollar expenditures are low. I was surprised because your team department has been doing so well on prescriptions, but I looked at that and it was like, there's an average cost of $43 per prescription. So I'm wondering if one or two are just super expensive.
We'll get some that are like up there, but most of them are normal. And I have noticed, just physically noticed the decline in the people coming in for interviews, applying for indigent. So I don't know. Just different times of the year.
Maybe it's because I can't find you.
Could be.
That's
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Commissioner Cheney.
Aye.
Commissioner Castleline. Commissioner Russo. Commissioner Dupnick. Judge Garza.
Aye, passes 5-0. Thank you, Alma. Item number 21.
Move to approve the appointment of Captain Kamar or Como. As a county administrator. Second.
Got a motion and a second.
Good morning. Y'all might remember David Reed was the certified floodplain administrator, and now that he has retired, as a community, since we participate in the National Flood Insurance Program, we are required to have one on staff. Basically, the administrator is a certified floodplain manager. Currently, we have two in our office. I am working on mine this spring, and hopefully I'll come back for further discussion later this spring. But in the meantime, Catherine has been a certified floodplain manager since 2017. She is versed in the NFIP program as well as FEMA regulations. So I nominated her at this point in time to possibly come back later in the spring or early summer to revisit the administrator role.
And I did speak with Daryl about this, and my understanding is it is a temporary appointment. He is working on the certification, and that his plan is to have one or possibly more staff members certified in the department. I think that's a really great idea.
All right.
Thank you, Daryl.
Thanks.
Commissioner Cheney.
Aye.
Commissioner Castleline.
Aye.
Commissioner Russo.
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick.
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes 5-0.
Approved budget line item.
Second.
Got a motion and a second.
We have none at this time.
Are we gonna have a bunch like in February?
We will have probably the first meeting in February, we'll have some, it's not a bunch.
All right,
Thank
but
you.
be prepared.
It won't be.
Commissioner Cheney.
Aye.
Commissioner Castleline.
Aye.
Commissioner Russo.
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick.
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes unanimous. Item number 23.
Move to approve accounts payable and payroll liability. I'll second that.
We have normal payroll liabilities. We did have to resubmit a check to Chase, so it looks like we paid them an extra check, but they did not have one that they received, so we had to redo that check. On the 430 fund, we have FEMA, which is Cedar Bio. We paid Mont McDonald $28,411.72.
Could you say that amount again, Jackie?
$28,411.72. For the GLO projects, the street and drainage projects, Mont McDonald we paid a bill of $230,466.48. This is for multiple months. I can't remember exactly. September through November.
On both of those or just on that?
Just
The one
on
on the streets?
Just on the streets and drainage. It may have been on both, but for sure the streets and drainage. We also have paid numerous invoices for under the SO grants in the SB 22 for sheriff's office. We had AMBEC, and that was some bulletproof, some kind of security stuff for $11,474.69. Axon, we paid tasers of $84,058.80. Postal wrap was for one of the vehicles with $3,880. Parkway Chevrolet is where we got the Tahoes that we replaced with the SB 22 funds. Was $234,502.84.
And who was that to?
Parkway Chevrolet.
And where are they?
I was gonna say.
And that was for the 6, right? And we traded in 8?
Do you remember? I don't remember how many.
No, ma'am, I believe it's probably 6 or 6.
6 for 6.
So is that one of the board participants?
You went through the Sheriff's Association.
Sheriff's Association procurement program, which is years of that.
It's the same thing.
It's all set up at the bidding. They opened in November of the previous year, and we'll get back to you. Looking at going forward, but it is with most of it's coming from the SB 22, and part of it was budgeted money from the county for vehicle replacement.
We also have paid AMBEC for $11,219.85, and that also was for some of the armor. We have stock sticks that we bought for $12,700.59. Elkins is some go bags. There were some bags for some equipment that was $2,770. And Safe Life Defense was $2,680.60. As I said, these were either by SB 22 or some of the smaller grants that the Sheriff's Office had applied for to get some specific equipment. And if you have any other questions, I'll be happy to answer.
So we had no payments to Teal or Bronze?
No. Not at this time, please.
Commissioner Cheney.
Aye.
Commissioner Castellane.
Aye.
Commissioner Russo.
Aye.
Commissioner Dukenyak.
Aye.
Judge Garcia.
Aye, passes 5-0. At this time, we'll hear reports from commissioners, elected officials, and department heads. Commissioners, you got anything?
Well, the Aggie singing cadets were here Saturday evening. And they were wonderful. It was at Martha Luigi. Unfortunately, it wasn't very well broadcast, promoted. But they did an excellent performance. And the Gospel Music Fest was this past weekend, Friday through yesterday evening. First Baptist, and then several of the groups went to outlying churches like Cowan, Portland. I remember all the others. Thank you. And that was very well attended, and they also received collections of food for Good Samaritans Rockport Farm. So a lot of good things going on in the community.
And Mike, I hate to put you on the spot.
Yep.
Can you talk about that fire?
Yeah.
Okay.
But the EMC, I'll fill you in. So last Wednesday, it was raining and pretty cold that day. We had a structure fire, RVs on fire on 188. I think there were 6 RVs affected. 3 of them were completely burned out. The other 2 were probably not livable at that time because they had the windows punched and the fire shot in, or water shot in. But the all 3 of our departments showed up. Aransas Pass Fire Department was there, and they did what the firemen do. They put the fires out and they saved lives. And so after, the fire's out and those guys leave, then what you have is the families that inhabited those RVs that are now standing under a carport and they're freezing, and they've got their pets and their kids. And so, we can't just leave them out in the cold. So started looking for solutions. So we got the Red Cross involved. Red Cross sent
3 workers over and they started processing everybody, give them a little bit of money. But then they don't provide transportation. And so what you end up with then is they have the money to go get a hotel room or food or what they need, but they don't have any way to get anywhere. None of them had a car. And they're kind of on a part of 188 that it's not really, I didn't think it was safe for them to be walking at night down the side of 188 to go to a hotel. So started looking for transportation options. I mean, we knew we had some kids involved. So I got with the school district and they were willing to come pick them up at a hotel or whatever for school the next day. And we got that squared away, but the school district was going to have to, if they were going to send a bus to come bring them to the hotel, they would have had to call a driver in after hours and such. But I'd been communicating with the judge the entire time. And he said, hey, get a hold of Real. So I called Pam Garza with Real. And I know they got patted on the back earlier or mentioned earlier, but this is truly more than a pat on the back in my opinion, that Real showed up with two vehicles, 2 drivers, and transported these folks to a hotel, and then said that just give them our contact information and let them know that we'll take them where they need to go the next day and on subsequent days until they get settled. So Pam and her team showed up after hours, no questions asked, no mention of an invoice. I've never been invoiced for anything that Real's done for us, including the Hurricane Beryl evacuation. So they're truly an asset to our community and deserve more than a pat on the back or a nice mention from the emergency management coordinator. So wanted to bring it to your attention.
Appreciate it. Thank you, Mike.
Thank you.
Yeah, Rhea.
That brings up something that I've been thinking about for a long time, is that we have so many organizations in this community. We're very blessed with organizations. And I would like to see at least quarterly or sometime to have an organization or several organizations come maybe every meeting and just tell us what they do. It doesn't hurt us. I mean, we're up here anyway. And I think with the viewership that we get on YouTube and our website and the newspaper and everything, I think it would help everybody out. And one of the biggest complaints that I think we all get is all y'all do is just, take our taxes and don't do anything for us. But there's so many things that not only that we're involved in, but that this blessed community is involved in. I mean, Real needs to come and whenever I was on the Real board or on the board for whatever it was then, that was very, very poor and just very poorly run. But Real's coming, they're doing a really good job. I'd like to see them come, and I'd like to see EMS come. And our time's not that valuable that we can't wait and hear a 15-minute presentation on somebody that's doing a good thing for this community.
I'll see if I can't help put that together for you.
Yeah, I think we're doing real well with it. But just look across the gamut of emergency management and who's out there that helps us in times of emergencies.
Actually, I already talked to Pam and Hernandez,
Oh, is it? Okay. Gotcha. Oh, didn't know that. My phone.
Were you gonna say something?
No, go.
Because she had sent an update in December about their flash service. And I let the veterans group in town know about that. And I've talked to the Retired Teachers Association because I think it would be good for her to get on their program. But I also asked her, and she might be at our next Commissioners Court meeting. Because I just was talking to her last week, so it was too short.
We can put them up close to the beginning.
Yeah.
But we're just so blessed. I mean, just incredible.
It's a tremendous service that they offer, and people just need to know about it. And that's just a problem, how to get the word out in this community. But you're right.
And just quickly on top of that, you're right. We are blessed. To live in a community that we don't have a lot of free or taxpayer paid community infrastructure, say like a shelter. You need those non-governmental organizations to you kind of depend on them in their good graces. The Presbyterian Church, United Methodist Church have all been looking after people that have needed shelter from the cold weather. We don't have a dedicated warming center. That we'd be paying for it if we did, and maybe this building could serve. There's places that could serve in a pinch or in an emergency situation, but we don't have a
dedicated facility for that. So you depend on those NGOs to step up. And this is a community where there's no lack of that. They step up every single time.
And they've been around a long time and have not been recognized.
Yep, agreed.
Thank you, Mike. Appreciate it. Any other commissioners?
Me.
Okay.
I just wanted to, make y'all aware that, CoFile has contacted me. They really don't want to store all of our documents. We knew this going in at the point we made that contract with them. I believe it was in July of last year without that number in front of me. And I thought we would be in within 6 to 8 months. That's not looking possible. So I will be and have already started conversations at my last conference with other entities that have storage facilities that meet the criteria required by law. So I will be getting quotes on those from those 2 entities. They're the only 2 that I can find that will even talk about it. The other problem I have is we have already paid half of the new Platt cabinets. These are large. They're 60 by 40 by 50 or something like that, and there's 5 of them. The price is going to go up if we don't go ahead and pay for them and then find a place to store them.
Because if we pay the final payment, they want to ship, they don't.
Correct.
Okay.
And also the high density rolling shelves that were planned, and as part of the CoFile contract that was set prior to my taking office. And I believe we make our final payment August of 27. I think it's August 27. So I think, but they are really wanting to go ahead and get those shipped. CoFile went from a family-owned business to a corporation. And our representative is alerting me that he doesn't want us to end up losing these cabinets at the price that we got them. And that we probably need to go ahead and try to find a place to store those and go ahead and get them. Now, what I haven't confirmed, because he's waiting on information back, is are they gonna come built and need that much room? Or are they gonna come in boxes? I'm still waiting on that confirmation. I just wanted y'all to be aware that there's gonna need to be some movement for us, for my office, on storing our documents and storing the cabinets that are already part of a contract.
And if those, so I'm assuming you've sent something off to say, hey, are they going to come complete or are they going to come boxed? If they come boxed, will they come later to set them up? Or is that going to be something you're going to look for?
I don't know yet.
Are you going to find that out too?
Yeah,
Okay.
and I had that conversation with Representative. We discussed all that. And he just needs to get more
Okay,
information
good.
for me.
Thank you for.
But I wanted y'all to know these are things that we are facing as a county. It is my office, it is my responsibility, but it does affect all of us in finding places to put those where they're safe.
Thank you.
Well, how are we coming on the courthouse, you know?
I have had no information about making my office compliant other than they know it needs to happen. And I would assume until we finalize some remediation lawsuits, whatever, for people to accept who's gonna do what, I assume that those decisions are not gonna be made.
That's a whole other meeting. Sheriff, you got anything?
Just trying to be easy.
I'm gonna add to that. It's something I've debated about bringing before y'all before now, but with the discussion about the courthouse. It's created a whole new budget issue that's gonna come up for me shortly. I didn't prepare a budget last year to be divided at 3, 4, 5 places trying to provide bailiffs and security, and it has taxed our resources. I'm taking people off the street from what their job assignments should have been patrolling to augment these when we get split up in different places. You know, the intent was that we would be centrally located with security in a building that, and I understand we're in discussions, but it's drawing down on my budget, my overtime, my manpower, and we'll have to adjust it going forward in the next budget deal if we can't resolve the courthouse situation. On the other deal, school district came brought the report about the signs. The signs were delivered, I think, January the 2nd. Mike Nowotny had get me a notification of that. He's a logistics manager for the school district. And they are on Pearl Street. I guess we will start forward pretty quickly with getting those placed.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Caitlin, got anything? No? All right. We don't need to go into closed session. Entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Commissioner Cheney. Commissioner Castleton. Commissioner Russo. Commissioner Dutnick. Judge Carson.